I know. What are we supposed to hold? Okay. What are we supposed to do? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. I must say, this bed frame is lit. It was like only $100 and something on Amazon, and I had just moved to LA and just honestly was trying to save hella money, and it was a great purchase. I love it. But now I'm getting a big girl bed.
How about we act in defiance? How about we intertwine in likeness? Just like this.
Oh my days! These look just like my mom's nightstand. Really? Oh. These are mommy's.
I love you right, just like Donna.
Oh, you can see you. Oh my gosh. Physics? Science? I would just like to say, somebody out there, please be impressed, because I am not wearing my glasses and I have horrible vision like many people, and I'm putting on my makeup in this little camera. Look at this tiny little screen, and I got a big ass head. So if my face comes out looking semi-beat, we blessed. And again, yeah, please be proud of me, okay? And we're gonna need another round of applause because I'm laying my edges. I have to do a shoot today that involves a lot of close-ups, and I'm not an edge layer kind of gal. I love when people do it. I'm just too lazy most of the time. But this picture does involve close-ups, so you know, I had to just take the L and do it. Okay, page. Okay, but they will all live on this page. Okay. She's here. And we moved Shelby's box spring out of her room and just put my bed frame in here, which looks so cute. And we're gonna put my other nightstand there, I think. Oh, you already moved some things around. Yeah, let's play around today. I love it. And then my bed just got finished being built, and oh my goodness. I really, really love it. I'm so happy.
Don't you steal the thunder. Don't steal the thunder. Wake up at the right time, looking at my lifeline. Don't say you just fine. On and on, we gotta keep it up. We gotta keep it up. Yeah. Baby, take it out. You got your whole life. Put faith in the sky. On and on, we gotta keep it up. We gotta keep it up.
Hey friends, hey fam, what's poppin'? I hope you guys are doing so super well today, as well as you can be, of course, during these very trying times. Please be taking care of yourself and the loved ones in your life. I hope you're staying hydrated, checking in with your friends, your family, your heart, and your mind above all things. My name is Janae, and I typically post home decor and lifestyle videos right here on the tube. And today, we doing some of that. We doing home decor because we've got a few updates in the house. Not really, I just want to show you my bedroom. And then I also just really want to sit down and give you guys some lessons learned and tips on how to bring the spaces in your home to life the way that you want, and that works with your budget and your timeline. All right, so let's get into it. But first, I do want to show you guys how the bed turned out because I just stopped recording yesterday because life happened, okay? It's built, it's put together, and ta-da! This is how it turned out. And honestly, it was well worth the wait. And now that picture frame makes sense as to why it was so high up. And then also I moved the desk that was in the office. We were gonna use it in there in here because I think it would make a great vanity, and I don't really need a dresser because I have space in my closet and I don't need another place to put clothes. That's a terrible idea for me personally. All right, let's get to these tips and talk about how you go from 0 to hero. If you can name that movie, drop it down below. But how you can, you know, bring your room to life. Disclaimer and very, very important note. Making this video, I do not in any way want to, you know, ignore the fact that we are all in different seasons in our lives, and we are always going to be in different financial seasons as well. So definitely be aware of that and know that if your dream pieces that you want are not practical right now, that is okay. We all have those moments and they might come back. That's just how life is. And just to be patient with your journey, your bank account, and yourself, and it'd be okay that, you know, if you have a little bit of a bougie desire, that's okay. But no, you might just have to wait a little while you're working on your grind. And just to put in some perspective, when I lived in New York, all of my furniture in my bedroom was thrifted from college. That was all the way until I was 26. And then I eventually wanted nicer furniture, but I really wasn't at a place where I could invest in it, and it didn't make sense because I lived in a large city. So I used a service called Live Feather, and it actually was a rental furniture service for people in a temporary space, or maybe you don't know what you want to do yet. And definitely look and see if your city has something like that. If you're in a transitional phase in your life, I would highly recommend as an option, and it allows you to explore your decor styles, but also not make such lifelong decisions, because when you buy furniture, you want to keep it for the long haul. So with this video, I really just want you to walk away with the confidence and the information you need for you to be able to bring a space in your home to life, to make it that place of refuge for you. First and foremost, get to know the space. Now, if you've already been living in the space for a little while, this might not be as applicable, but maybe you're just not thinking about the space in the way that I'm speaking of. And when I say get to know the space, figure out, what do you really need from this part of your home? When it comes to functionality, does it need to be somewhere where you can go and relax? Does it need to be somewhere where you can get work done? Does it need to be multi-purpose where you can do both? So just identify, what do you need from this space? How can it best serve you and those that live in your home? And once you identify the functionality, then it's okay to move towards, okay, now how do I want to bring that functionality to life and with the style that pleases me? And a lot of people, I think we all struggle with identifying what our style is, but I don't think you necessarily need to do that. It's more about identifying what types of pieces and colors and things bring you that peace, that sense of calm, where you walk in and you can just go like, oh, this is great. Because I think that's really important, especially because the minute we leave our doors, actually the minute we wake up, we are bombarded oftentimes with really unfortunate news, events, you've got your work, and you just have so many things you have to maintain in life. At the very base level, your home should be somewhere that doesn't add to that stress in any way. Now that you've identified what you really need from this space functionally, it's important to purge what you need to purge. If you are in a new space, this isn't something you'll probably have to worry about. But if it's somewhere where you currently have been living in and it's just not working for you anymore, figure out if there's anything in that space that can be moved to a different part of your home where it would be more useful, or if it's something that's better to just let it be someone else's blessing because it's not really serving you any longer. Or if you want to make a little cash money, you can definitely always sell it. I have had a lot of success selling things on Facebook Marketplace and on Craigslist. So don't sleep on doing that if you want to make some coin to put into your new refresh, okay? Now that you have it all purged, this is when you can go ahead and identify your budget, because that matters. You know your bank account better than anyone else. And if you live with someone or you have a partner and you guys are gonna be working on this together, sit down and figure out what you are able to sensibly allocate to this refresh. And a lot of times I think we just wanna like start it and get it done, but that is rarely how it works. I feel like when you're redoing a space, it usually takes time because furniture and decor is not cheap, especially if you want to invest in pieces that are going to last you through the times. And so with that being said, identify what you're willing to spend and able to spend, and then be okay with possibly breaking it down into seasons or different quarters of the year. So far, we've mainly just been focusing on one room at a time in this space, and that's been us kind of breaking it up. Just keep reminding yourself there is no rush to get this done super fast. This is where I live. I'm gonna take my time with this. Then it's about gathering that inspo, baby. And you can gather inspo in any way that you want. You could be gathering inspo from a TV show. For example, when we were watching The Crown, I honestly was paying attention to the storyline, paying attention to the characters, but also the decor was beautiful. Granted, I'm not gonna make our house look like Buckingham Palace, but there are little pieces of it that I was able to pull from. But on a more practical level, of course, Pinterest. I swear by Pinterest, live by it. It's such a great way to visually see so many things that you like in one place. And then Instagram, of course, using the option to save images into folders. I do that all the time and have a home decor inspo folder. Magazines and books are great places. Also going to different cafes. We aren't able to do that as often now, but back in the day, I got a lot of inspo for my Brooklyn apartment from honestly a few coffee shops I went to in Brooklyn that had a ton of green life and a lot of neutral colors. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want my room to feel like. I highly recommend organizing all of that inspo on a Pinterest board. And this is nothing new to all of us, but what might be new is when you are collecting these images and saving them to different Pinterest boards, start to take a mental note of themes that you are seeing recur in your pins. For example, when I was taking a look at what themes I was seeing on my boards, it was still a lot of neutral colors, but mixed in with much more richer tones, which really inspired the coffee table in our living room. It's a very dark chocolate brown, and I think it just added a nice balance with the bright whites I tend to gravitate towards. I also started to notice a lot of pieces that had a little bit more of a vintage feel, more of an antique touch. So that's inspired me to start thrifting more. That's the only way I was gonna be able to get more of a lived in feel. Now that it's time to get organized, which is my absolute favorite part because you can start to really see some of your ideas and visions come to life, I like to use a free website called Milanote. I think there's a paid option, but that's more so for large scale projects. You can use this website and make vision boards, and it is just so easy to upload images and drag and drop and move them around and see what pieces you like together from online, what textures you like together, what colors, and it even allows you to store images in one place that you can hide them from the board and then add them back to the board, which is just really nice when you have a few different ideas and you don't know which one to go with. It's super user friendly and really fun to play around with, and yeah, bring your ideas to life like I said. And if you're super handy and crafty, you can totally cut pictures out of magazines and make a little mood board. I would say just have fun with it, and the main goal of this step is just to let your mind kind of run with different ideas and really start to narrow down what you really want in this space. Now this is the time where you get to actually shop. I really do wait this long before starting the shopping process because a lot of the shopping process is research, because you want to find the best bang for your buck, right? No one wants to just be throwing out money willy-nilly. The first thing I usually do is take a look at the major items that are probably gonna be the biggest investment. Try to find dupes for them or used versions of them on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and see who is already trying to sell this exact item. A lot of times there are people trying to sell the exact item you're looking for, or even just get rid of it. This is how I got a free couch once, which sounds kind of creepy, but it was all right. It had a few mystery stains and life went on. So I would say maybe give yourself a timeline, maybe a couple weeks or a month, to see if anyone's trying to sell that exact item. And then also, now that things are starting to open up again, you know, you can get out and about and try and see if at your local thrift stores, Habitat resale store, see if there are any places selling items very similar to that. And then I would say also be looking for dupes of that item, something that brings the exact same feel, the exact same look. Oftentimes you end up finding a dupe dupe that is better than the original anyway. And the best way to find dupes is just going into Google and typing in the description of what you're looking for. When you do this search, you end up finding so many items that look similar, and maybe you have to sacrifice in one little area, but you could be saving yourself hundreds of dollars. So it's always worth it to try and find the dupe, and do not only look at the first page on Google. Scroll all the way down, you guys, and go pages deep. Sometimes I end up on like the 10th page before I find what I'm really looking for. And then if you absolutely cannot find a dupe and you have not been able to thrift a similar piece, then I would say that's when you start to figure out, okay, how can I adjust my budget to make room for this particular piece? There definitely is always going to be some give and take, and there are certain items that you can always find cheaper, but then there's always something that you just absolutely fell in love with and you cannot get out of your mind, and none of the dupes are doing it for you. That's when I say, all right, let's readjust and step back and see how can we make this work, because I still have this bitch on my mind. That was pretty much it. I think that was all the tips, because now that you're in the process of doing the research, sourcing for the items, now it's time to just shop. And I would say shop slow. Once you get a few items in the room, reassess, because a lot of times after you get a few items in, you realize, okay, wait a minute, my original idea actually might not be the best. Let's go back to the drawing board and see how I can make this fit our needs better. My last tip really is just to take your time and, you know, be excited about it, have fun. This should not be something that stresses you out, unless it's some type of renovation that will stress you out. But props to the people who do it. I almost forgot. Something else that really helps is getting on your notes app or getting a piece of paper, whatever you need, and just actually drawing out the room. Even if you are not an artist, I'm not an artist, I have no drawing skills, but just trying to see different layout ideas if you don't know how you want to arrange the room. I've been doing this honestly since college. All right, you guys, that is it. If there's anything I missed that you are curious about or want more information about, definitely let me know down below. I'm wanting to do more of these kind of added value videos where I can actually sit down and just give you guys some advice and tips and things that have worked for me. And you already know who you is, you know who you are, you the best, you the baddest, and I love you so, so much. Thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I never remember to say that, but I'm saying it. Subscribe. It really does help and means the world. All right. And if you hated it, that's fine. Love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. You ain't nothing but a bad bitch. Hey, you ain't nothing but a bad bitch. Hey.